So before he walks away, Atlas walks up to Bruval and puts him in a big hug, and he whispers in his ear and he says, "Thank you for keeping her safe."
Of course, I watched over her while she slept, and when she awoke, it was time to go. And he like hugs him back with almost the exact same like gumption that he had, like, and he's like, "You care for her deeply. I see that, and that is why we must drink."
Oh, I'm actually about to cry. Oh my god.
No, for real. I feel like our characters are
Oh my
meshing so much
God.
better right now.
Atlas
Holy
leans back from
shit.
the hug, and you just hear him go, aye. Drink is important in times like these.
To the kitchen, and then he like
Atlas follows with like the same gumption.
I guess
I
they
like
would
this
know
guy.
if they scouted the place out, they would know where the kitchen is.
yeah.
I was like, they're just gonna go to the kitchen.
And there's like salted
My
meat and
mansion.
like all this stuff. And Bruval goes,
Good.
food! Do you know how to prepare, or would you like me to?
I'm pretty trash at cooking, I'm not gonna lie. I usually leave that to Jari on the ship.
And then he kind of like motions to Dex, like, do you know how to cook?
Not anything you'd want to eat.
He knows how to make paninis.
That's true.
Perfect! And then he, like, kind of like unintentionally slams the bottle of brandy into Atlas's chest and like hands it off to him.
When you
Atlas
do that,
looks at it,
oh,
he's-
when you do that, when
it's
you
a-
push it, when you push it into the chest, all of the sudden, the bottle burst as the liquid just like just splatters everywhere and just kind of like moves around. Like it's not like it burst from just hitting you, it just burst from the liquid pushing it on the glass when it touched you. And you see red, like his hand glowing red for a second when he pulls back.
Oh, apologies.
Oh, that was good liquor. I'm sorry.
No, it was probably Bruval. And then he like swings the backpack off and like sets it on the ground in front of Atlas. There are 2 more bottles in there. You can grab them. And then he like
Atlas like very gently reaches a hand in and picks it up, and he's inspecting the bottle, just like he's been around. He knows good liquor when he sees it, and he wants to inspect to see like the age of it. He's like trying to get an idea of just how good this liquor is.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, in fact, it's those bottles, because he sees him like inspecting it. He's like, they're from the mansion that May and I escaped from. So.
Oh, that kid was a little prick, by the way. Can we just talk about that for a sec?
He treated me very well, and then I come to find out the man sunk my ship just to get me into his house. I mean, as he's like preparing food and stuff, like.
Sunk your ship. You from the Jill?
Oh yes, pirates and I, we do not mesh well, if you could say. And then continues to.
About that.
Oh shit.
He walks towards him and holds out his hand because he hasn't introduced himself properly yet.
And he's just
Atlas McClellan, first mate of the Howland Savages.
you kind of like, so he's like into the cooking, and then you say that, and it sort of like slows down, and then it like stops, and he's just letting it simmer, and he goes, "So you are pirate, yes?"
I am pirate. Nobody else in here is pirate.
So this is a question for both you and both Bruval and Atlas. How much of the Howling Savage worked with the slaves, and how much do you know about the Howling Savage, Bruval? So the first
Howling Savages strictly stayed away from taking slaves,
Mhm.
and
but when they're on the
Bruval-
Jewel, I mean. How much did they interact with the slaves?
They would have walked past and they would have been friendly and amicable at the very
Yeah, so you mentioned that you were a part of the Howling Savages, but you are now the captain of your.
Yes.
Okay.
I love the name, by the way. I didn't tell you that, Jackson, for your ship.
You know, pirates, as far as I'm concerned, all pirates can burn it. But you yourself and your shipmates, you're alright with Bruval. And then he just continues to like.
On that note, on that note, if you're not too big on pirates, you might be keen to find that the former king of them, the
Captain Two
Terry-
Cox.
Terry Twocox, he's been
Two.
deposed.
So at that, he completely drops what he's doing and turns to Atlas, and it looks kind of intimidating at first. And then he goes, "You have done this?"
In a sense, the group, it was a group effort.
Before you can finish saying like group effort, Bruval already has him in like a tyrannical hug, like.
I
And he's like sniffling a little bit, because Two Cox is the one who personally dragged him onto the jewel and made him a slave. So.
A lot's changed on the jewel. We
Castrated the two cocks.
in the manner of speaking,
Oh.
he is dead. Slavery is strictly forbidden at this point by Captain Whalen.
Ah. Very good
Appointed
man.
by Atlas, might I add.
I had a short chat. I actually ran into him when we were on the jewel, and let me tell you, he's you know when you were a kid and like your dad, you like you tell you're and you like paint on the walls when you're like a baby, and they're like, oh, so cute, but they're also like, this son of a bitch just painted on my walls. It's similar to that. He didn't necessarily want to be the king, and I maybe shouldn't have done that.
Slaps a big hand on his shoulder and goes, "You know, some of the best leaders are the most reluctant." And then he just goes back to cooking, like. And then, so he finishes the food, and it is just like, basically like a feast. Like it is just a big, like for a family of 10, like.
Monster Hunter cooking montage.
Exactly, yeah.
Except with a gilf instead of cats.
So, we cut over to May. You're in your room. You're finally dying. Like your sobbing is quiet down. You're running out of
Yeah.
tears, and you hear a behind you.
Not now, Mia.
Well, I think if she remembers the Halloween night,
She didn't
probably
teleport in
remembers it.
Halloween.
I mean, she did, but it was like
She-
uncontrollable, kinda.
Mhm.
Was she being dragged into it or some shit?
She was being She was being dragged into a weird dimensional rift.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess she just turns to her in shock then.
Sorry,
'Cause someone just appeared in her room.
sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt, but she has a staff in her hand. She's like, I believe this is yours. Just wanted to give it to you.
May, it cheers her up a little bit, and she's like, "You guys found it?"
Yeah, you're Yeah, we kept it all nice for you.
Thanks, Mia.
You're welcome. I think they're finishing some food downstairs, so whenever you're
I
ready,
feel
you
like
can have
the
some.
smell is just like intoxicatingly coming up. Like,
But it's really good to see you again.
You too.
Yeah, I missed having you around.
Partner.
She does like finger guts. I'm gonna hug her.
And you
It's
hug her.
bisexual panic.
And for a second, she like tenses up and like is like, what the hell? And then she relaxes and hugs you back. You sit there for a minute, and she's like,
I feel like even more than that, it's Bruval walks to the end of the stairs and like looks at Callum and goes, "Hey, big
Someone is
man,
off the stairs.
there's food. Well prepared, mother's cooking, old Wintervale recipe."
My God.
And then he like shouts up the stairs and is like, "May, when you are finished, being sad, there is lots of food down here."
I literally think she starts to chuckle a little bit, and then she'll pull away from Mia and like wipe her face, and then put her staff on her back and just be like,
Do you want to go eat?
yeah. It looks good. That looks good being with its rightful owner.
"Uh
Shut the fuck up. Google talking in the background.
Hey Alexa, who asked you?
oh." She's still going.
Damn.
Okay.
The bitch still talking.
She says it's good that it's back with its rightful owner. It looks right with you. And she opens up the door. She's like, "You ready?"
Does Callum
Blushing.
respond to Bruval
I'm
at all?
blushing.
What did she give the trident, bident back spear?
Trident.
It's
It's a
Manga?
staff that turns into a trident.
Yeah.
Because I'm an edgelord.
Hell yeah. What? Brutal.
Wintervale, you say? Like, you're from around there?
No, my mother and father, they were part of the war effort up there. They were born there, came down to Mirestone. My sister was born there, but I was born in Mirestone.
Nice.
Yeah, Bruval, was it?
Yes. Excuse me, I'm so sorry you snuck up on me.
Yeah, no, we'll be right. We'll be in the kitchen in a moment. I actually have to talk to Callum for a moment.
Pardon, did not mean to interrupt. Does he actually, like, honestly have a, like, almost scared expression on his face?
Yeah. Like I'm in trouble type, like.
Yeah.
Like kid being caught doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruval puts a hand on Callum's shoulder. Do you need help?
Oh.
Yeah,
he's
you
gonna
do.
be Fine.
Forgive my skepticism. But, this man looks in fear for his life.
He shouldn't be. I knew we needed to talk. I'm not gonna fucking kill him.
As long as I have your word. And then he, like, marches off to the kitchen.
At that, I think Evelyn sort of like nods towards the office to Callum, like let's step inside for a second.